With all due respect, the views and opinions expressed on Threatcon 5 clothing
Try to live my life every day. Keep out of strife, come what may. I try to do unto others as I'd have them do to me, but it can't be done for everyone, and now it's plain to see. You are a cunt, a big bad stinking cunt. Say it ain't true, but he'll tell you you're a motherfucking cunt. You are a cunt, a motherfucking cunt. Everybody knows from your head to your toes you're a big bad stinking cunt. I try to be real nice, say it twice, be real nice, even though it is hard to keep up this facade. And now I see, dearie me, what a hassle this would be. I'm out of luck, don't give a fuck, cause you're the cunt, not me.
Why don't you go fuck yourself, dickhead?
You are a cunt, a big bad stinking cunt. You say it ain't true, but he'll tell you you're a motherfucking cunt. You are a cunt, a motherfucking cunt. Everybody knows from your head to your toes you're a big bad stinking cunt.
With all due respect, the views and opinions expressed on Threatcon 5 clothing and Threatcon 5 radio are strictly the views of Threatcon 5 and do not reflect or represent the values of the Veteran Radio Syndicate. If you get offended by anything you hear on this show, please feel free to go fuck yourself. We thank you for listening.
Hey, happy Taco Tuesday evening, fuckers and fuckettes. We are here live finally after weeks of, I don't know, I mean, it says that, you know, after a hiatus, but let's just be honest, it was, Judy was being a bitch and didn't want to be on air.
That's any different how?
Right? But no, hey, we are back. We are back. I am Bulldog. This is Judy, my,
better looking
heterosexual life partner. We oh my god, what a fucking week it has been.
Yeah.
So this afternoon I finished the deck. Now I just have to do the railings, but I'm kind of up in the air as to whether or not I'm gonna do the decks. But let me tell you, this weekend, okay, Kendra and I went kayaking.
Yeah.
And I hate the water, okay? Hence the reason I never joined the fucking Navy.
Is it because it messes up your perm?
No, because there's fucking sharks in that motherfucker, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, right? So, but we went on the river. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I have found a new hobby that lived for a whopping, like, 3 hours. We went out for, like, 3 hours. And, we come back, we throw the kayaks back on the car, and we head back to the house. She drops me off. She gets ready to head back to her place in Dover, and I start mowing the lawn. I told her, I said, hey, when you get there, send me a text. You know, I'll probably be mowing the lawn, so I won't answer. Well, it's one of those things where you truly wish that you had kept your phone on you.
Uh-oh.
Because approximately 35 minutes later, Kendra comes driving back into my driveway without kayaks on the top of her car.
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, wind caught him, ripped the whole fucking rack off the top of the car. It's got a little bit of damage. But here's the shitty part. She put them on the side of the road to come and get the bigger vehicle for us to bring them back, and some fucking douche canoe decided that those kayaks belonged to him.
Well, they were left on the side of the road. Clearly, that's for somebody else.
Oh, yeah. That's how it goes, right? You see stuff on the side of the road, it's obviously
Yeah,
for you.
did she call you like 11,000 times?
No, just one. She knew I was mowing the lawn, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact. I mean, how fucked up of a person do you have to be to do this? And then the weekend took a very tragic turn. 6:30 on Saturday night.
Oh my God! Yes.
A 23-year-old driver who I am happy to say has been arrested and charged with 7 counts of vehicular manslaughter. I don't know all the details right now, but he has been arrested and he's charged. 7 individuals, 5 patch members, former United States Marines from the Jarhead Motorcycle Club, were killed in an accident in northern New Hampshire. 2 of which I knew, and
I remember you were saying something about you knew some of those guys.
Yeah, I knew some of the guys. Very sad thing, 5 Marines, 2 supporters. I believe one's a wife and one was a girlfriend. Were killed tragically. So I ask you, if you see the GoFundMe going around, they're trying. The organization is trying to raise $700,000. That'd be $100,000 for each of the families that was strongly affected by this. I mean, there's never a good time to lose a loved one, and certainly this was heartbreaking. So if you see the GoFundMe, if you can donate, please donate. If you can't donate, that's fine. Please at least share it, get it out there, because these men were not only, American citizens and patriots, but they were former United States Marine Corps members who, raised their hand, took an oath to defend the Constitution, and they certainly deserve as much help as we can possibly give to their family in this trying time.
Yeah. So I had checked it this afternoon. I checked the fundraiser. I've been watching it. This afternoon, it was up to $338,897. So they're more than halfway to their goal, but they still need a lot of help. But this says a lot about the Marine community, the motorcycle community, the veteran community. That was raised in 2 days.
Judy, and it's what is even more crazy about this is that this is an accident that caught national attention.
Yeah.
I mean, people were saying, my God, I saw this on the news in my little podunk town in Utah. I mean, this was one of those things that, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, though, I do have a little bit of a rant that is associated with this, and some people may not agree with, certainly the timing is shitty because of what happened, but so the governor Sununu, the governor of New Hampshire, decided that it was a good idea today to lower the flags to half staff, half mast, in honor of these Marines that were killed on Saturday night in the motorcycle accident. And I have a serious problem with that because it violates flag code. Okay? That is not the purpose for lowering the flag. If something ever happens to me, I hope that my friends and family are very clear to tell whoever makes that decision that that's not the purpose of it. Now, I get it. The lowering the flag became less a fucking thing when they lowered the flag for Whitney Houston. But, come on. The flag that is not the purpose. Not that they don't deserve it. They will have a flag draped over their coffin. They were heroes and they gave their lives, but we have to start following the laws of this country. If we don't, we're going to continue to spiral down the way that the country is spiraling. Me and my boss were driving today, and right in front of us, directly in front of us was a Concord police officer. Right in the middle of the freaking intersection that we're going through, a car changes lanes in the middle of an intersection. Big no-no.
Which is against the law.
Okay. Cops didn't get pulled over. Cop didn't pull him over. Okay? It's another example. If we continue to push an agenda where we don't follow the laws that have been written, the laws that have been agreed upon, a lot of these laws have been on the books for years. And, these are the laws that were enacted by our founding fathers and the people that, put their blood, sweat, and tears before what we have today. Okay?
Yeah.
We can't continue to just do things the way we want to do them. Plus, I still, to this day, do not understand how the governor of New Hampshire has the right to do anything with the national colors. You want to lower a flag? Lower the New Hampshire flag. That's your right. The President of the United States is the one that should have the right to lower a flag. The governors, I'm sorry, should not have that fucking right. Okay? I'm sorry. That's my little rant as far as that goes. But, why does this keep happening? Why are we losing our brothers and sisters to accidents and suicide and, issues with the VA? We look at this. There's certainly fucking issues that can't be, avoided. An accident like this can't be avoided. But we are a community that has to start taking accountability for ourselves. Mm-hmm. We cannot continue to look for somebody else to find our solutions. We as soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, when we enlisted, we were told that we are expected to follow a code of conduct, and we are to provide the initiative as service members in order to better our careers, right? That we don't want the guy that's going to sit back there and just fucking do the minimum. We want the guy that's going to strive to be the best, right? That doesn't stop when you take the uniform off. Okay? And the reason I'm talking about this, Judy, is it's kind of a caveat to what we talked about the last time we were on the show, when I took responsibility for my actions in my relationship. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that need to start looking at these things, and they need to start realizing that we have to take accountability for our actions. We are better. Not that we're better than anybody else, but we deserve to be treated with the same respect that we were treated with when we donned a uniform. Okay? And that doesn't only mean by people around us. It means by ourselves. We need to provide ourselves with the level of respect, honor, and integrity that we would expect from a soldier or a sailor or an airman or Marine that we served with. There is no need whatsoever for anybody to be going out there and taking their lives because they believe that's the only way they can get through a situation. There are tons of people for you to reach out to. There are tons of people that are in organizations dedicated to do that. There are people in there are just people there like you, the individuals that are in the Salty Pogs, the individuals that are in some of these groups that are pushing it day in and day out, that our agenda is to look out for our fellow brother and sister.
Absolutely.
We cannot take, who is it that Boone Cutler says it best? Don't take your life unless you've reached out to your brothers. That's not verbatim, but you've got to make a conscious effort to do the right thing and not point the fingers at other people. Take responsibility for your actions, push a positive agenda, and know there's always an ear. There's always somebody that can help you. There is no situation out there, I'm sorry, there is not one situation out there that is worth you inflicting pain on friends and family because you couldn't get through it.
I just watched a video yesterday that Hans Malloy posted a couple days ago, and it was a video of a little girl who's, I'd say, no more older than 3, and her dad committed suicide in March of this year. Now, this little girl is in therapy to help her deal with it, but the video that Hans posted is so fucking heart-wrenching, and anybody thinking about taking their lives needs to see this video because it's so in your face. This little girl is laying in her bed and her mom is videotaping her to teach some people a lesson. She's crying for her dad and she wants to know why he's not coming back, and she just wants him to come back and hug her and hold her. And I cried with that kid in the video. And actually, a couple people actually said that, you know, they've thought about it, they've been there, they've been close or whatever. And when you see things like that, it reminds you, like you and I have said before, Bulldog, suicide doesn't end your pain, it just gives it to someone else. You know, that child has to carry around some horrible and very strong feelings for the rest of her life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and
it's not right. We can't continue to do this. And you know, if there's one thing that you can take from anything that Judy and I say on this show, is there is always an ear. Okay.
Yeah.
We try very hard to be, you know, there for anybody that messages the page. You know, people that are looking for assistance. Like right now, one of our listeners hit me up and asked me to, you know, try to contact somebody in Texas because one of his buddies is apparently homeless down there and is rumored that he's around this individual. And months ago, I reached out and the guy's like, yep, the name sounds very familiar. And I let him know that. And he's like, okay, you know, this and that. At least I know he's safe. And, you know, now he's trying to get a hold of him again. And I feel bad because now I can't find the guy that I had talked to months ago. And, you know, but that's what we do. We're constantly out there doing whatever we can to help people. That is the mission of Threatcon 5 clothing and Threatcon 5 radio. You know, we are here for you. And we cannot stress it enough. There is always an ear. Doesn't matter what time of night it is. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. You hit us up. We're going to do our best to be right there for you. And if we can't be, we'll find somebody that can. Okay? So we have to start
sometimes
taking
all we can do is be facilitators.
Yeah. And we've got to start being accountable for our actions. And we got to start being accountable for the things that we put ourselves in. You know, if you can't pay a bill, well, you know, we got to figure it out. Okay?
Right.
If you're running into a position where you don't have a place to live, we got to figure it out. If you're going through a relationship issue, whatever the case may be, take accountability. None of these situations are life-lasting situations that are worth you making a permanent decision for a temporary problem. You know.
Yep.
So yeah. So that's all I got to say about that. I don't want to harp on this for too long, but I just want you all to know that we do care. Okay? We care very, very much, and I'm tired of seeing my brothers and sisters gone.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we've got to we got to do something about it. All right, so I didn't cover it at the beginning, but as you know, we are proudly brought to you by Beard BQ Sauce. If you haven't heard, he's got a Kickstarter going right now, trying to do great and wonderful things. Man, let me tell you, Judy.
Yeah.
I ordered. Look, I got a hat. I convinced him to send me a hat.
Yeah.
Beard BQ hat.
Pretty awesome.
And on the
sure wish I had one.
Yeah, well, you're not cool as I am. So, anyway,
I don't know about that.
Did you get something in the mail from him?
Not yet.
Well, then you suck. Shut up. Anyway, yeah, whatever. There's your IQ. Anyway, so I ordered some of the Carolina Reaper infused barbecue sauce. Judy, let me tell you, it has got a kick. It has got a kick. And for me to say that, that's something, right?
Yeah, because how many spicy challenges have we done on this show?
Right?
Where
I've
you're
done
just
the
like,
one chip challenge. I've done the one chip challenge. I've done the toe of Satan. It's got a little bit of kick, but I will tell you, if you mix to marinate chicken or whatever, if you mix 50-50 of the mustard sauce and the Carolina Reaper sauce, you will get a hell of a marinade.
Nice.
Yes, I did that. I did that
The
on
mustard sauce is a little crack-like.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it was. Whoo! Yeah. So, yeah, so check that out. Now, if you go over to Threatcon 5 Clothing, our unspoken, really, sponsor of the show, because it's an obvious, you can get your new Beard BQ Sauce t-shirts. You can get the smoking meats, pulling triggers, or stacking bodies. And have you seen the stacking body t-shirt yet?
Maybe.
It's got a cow with a pig on top of it and a chicken on top of it.
No, I have not seen that.
Oh, it's fucking great. Stacking bodies. And like I said, smoking meats and pulling triggers. We also have the Russian collusion shirt. I survived the Russian collusion hoax. The N22 shirt. The All Vets Advocate PTSD shirt. The No Veteran Stands Alone.
I was just gonna say I'm on the webpage right now.
And most importantly, the Freedom lightweight hooded t-shirt. Okay? Lightweight hooded long sleeve t-shirt. Hats.
It's badass, yo.
Stickers, yo.
Stick your what?
Go get some. www.threatcon5clothing.com. Go on there.
And as
order something.
Don't forget, as Sai has modeled for us,
leggings.
We do have leggings available.
They're
super comfy.
We don't, actually.
Oh.
I do have some that I need to put up on the site, so I will get to that. Things that are in stock. Let's see. So we have the Gut DD214 shirts in stock. The Make America Great Are You Triggered shirt is in
they're
stock.
stacking bodies. That's fantastic.
Yeah. What else do we got that's in stock? The Marine 0311 shirt is in stock.
So I think you should talk about something very cool on your website.
Okay.
The Buy a Veteran a Tee.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't pushed that because it's kind of new. I've had a lot of people that have said, hey, it'd be really cool if I could buy a t-shirt for somebody that wants a shirt and can't afford it. So I started a new thing. For $20 you can buy a veteran a t-shirt. You can choose who it goes to, or you can choose to say just give it to somebody random, and all you have to do is go on there, order the shirt, and the special instructions either say please send to this person with the address, or you can give it to somebody at the VA, so on and so forth. Whatever you want to do, and you'll get a nice little digital download thing saying that you donated a shirt to a veteran. Now, on top of that, we also have another incentive I don't talk about a lot. It's the 50%.
Hold on. I want to go over that really quickly. You're doing two awesome things. So you're buying a shirt for someone who maybe really would need one or really wants one but can't afford one. Plus, the proceeds of the sale are going to go to help other veterans.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of help going on here with just one sale.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not one of those guys that beats my freaking chest and stands on a soapbox and talks about my company. So that's why sometimes I forget this stuff. But there is another incentive on there. It's the 50%,
you're allowed to.
It's the 50% off deal. Have you seen that one?
Negative.
Okay. Look on the top and scroll over to the one that says shit. What the hell does it say?
It says shit?
No, it doesn't actually say shit. I say shit. Where
referral
shit?
Program?
I don't see shit. Yeah, the referral program. So if you go on, or if you tell somebody go buy a shirt from Threatcon 5 Clothing, and they go in and they buy a shirt and they put your name in the special instructions, you will then receive an email with a 50% off discount code. One-time use, but you'll save 50% on your next order. So, I'm just trying to do things that are, making it easier for veterans to be able to get items. I'm trying very hard to set Threatcon 5 Clothing apart from other companies. That's why, I don't release a lot of items anymore, because I want to ensure that anytime I release a shirt, it's something that somebody else hasn't done.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I got to be careful, too, because people like to steal my shit.
Yeah.
Didn't say that out loud, did I? Yeah, I did.
Whoops.
I don't give a fuck.
The same people who like to steal other clothing companies' shit.
I don't
too.
give a fuck. I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
sorry, was that out loud?
Hey, so did you hear that Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. is in trouble?
What?
Yeah. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s lawyer is seeking to get a groping charge against the Oscar winner Tost, citing that online blog posts he says suggest the accuser is troubled mentally. So yes, good old Cuba Gooding Jr.
He could grope me whenever he wants to.
Good for you there. Good for you.
I always thought he was a good-looking guy, and he seems like a nice guy.
So anyway, getting back to Beard BQ and Threatcon 5 clothing. So please, if you could, go over to... Oh, Felix actually just put the link in there. But if you
Yes,
go
he
over to
did.
beardbqsauce.com and check out the site, you'll see everything that's available there. And if you order something, certainly use coupon code VET for life to save yourself. What the fuck are you laughing
Matt
at?
King says, speaking of that, I just found 2 kayaks just sitting by the road. I can't wait to try them out. Too soon?
Matt King, I will kick you right in the fucking vagina. All these people got jokes. All these people got jokes.
Too soon?
Fuck me. Anyway, yeah, buy a Veta tea is an awesome idea, says Uncle Si. Well, you know what, brother? Thank you. It was kind of your idea. But, all right, so let's say hi to a bunch of people in here. We got Amanda Glazier. We have John Ginsberg, Luke Savoy, Glenn Estes, Valerie Adams, Valerie Adams again. Jesus, will you stop commenting on shit? Just kidding. Dean Cerny, Mitchell Rankin, Jade Lopez, Uncle Si. Who's this? Catherine Albertson.
Oh, yes, she's a friend of mine.
You don't have any friends. Shut up.
Alrighty then.
I told you.
She's
Jared
my imaginary
Marston.
friend. I'm just posting back and forth.
Jared Marston. Bob Jordan. Felix Irving. Lisa Pierce. And let's see. Who else is up here? Matt King. Ashley Moon Butler.
Mike Sullivan.
Where do you see Mike Sullivan?
He scrolled by really quickly. He actually tagged. So Mike was which is weird to call him Mike because he's my chief.
Yeah, I
he
don't
was
care.
my
Jimmy
last-
James, Jeff Jebby, Amanda Melton, Terrell
Bice.
Gould, shut up, Christy Stone, Cindy Cerny, Dwayne Lewis, Gina Scott, Mary Hoover, James Cerny, and Mark Donegan. All right, now you can say whatever stupid shit you were saying a minute ago. Go ahead.
So, yeah, Mike was my chief, so it's weird to call him Mike, but he was tagging Jim Buys. He was like, hey, buy a shirt from the bearded guy so I can get 50% off.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. Let's see. What's his name again? Mike Sullivan. Has he ever
Yes.
ordered for me without a code? No. 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 You're a dick, Mike. No, I'm just kidding.
He's the chief that you don't want to talk to like that, though. He's like, I don't know. Just
What rank is a chief?
E9.
I don't give a fuck. My DD214 says I can talk to him any way I want. He ain't the boss of me. Let's see. I was an E7. 7 out of 9 ain't bad. Oh, anyway. No, so I gotta tell you
Oh,
that...
God.
What?
Listen, Glenn Estes just wrote something in the chat, and I'm going to discuss it very briefly. He said,
come on,
I
saying shit?
need new leggings. Blah, ha, 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 ha. Listen, if he buys leggings, I will pay for them so that you don't send them to him. No one wants to see that, Glenn.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who is, wait a minute. All right, so we have some more other people here. Christopher Morris is here. I'm kind of trying to figure out who Valerie Adams is talking about, saying he's gained so much weight. Who is she
Cuba
talking
Gooding
about?
Jr.
Oh yeah. Have you seen him? He's kind of chubby.
Is he?
Ronnie Brown is here. Jeff Wilbur is here. Bob Jordan says he filed a groping charge against Cory Booker. It's probably true. So yeah. Jesus. All right, so it's 7:30.
He does look rough.
Yeah, he does look rough. He does look rough. What do you want to get into? You want to get into the douche of the weeks now, or do you want to...
You know, I have a little bit of a rant.
Oh, Jesus, here we go. I was at work today, which means I was in my house. And
Actually, I'm working from the office this week.
My cat was bothering me, and yeah.
I'm working from the office this week. Fuck you very much.
Oh my God, you're actually in the office? Josh Miller, aka Lunchbox, is here.
Hey! So, there's this feature that everybody's all of a sudden fucking alarmed about on Facebook. If you're on your cell phone and you're on Facebook, you can, while you're looking at a post, you can shake your phone, and this little thing that says report a problem, your feedback helps us improve Facebook. And if you, it goes away after a second. Shake phone to report a problem. You can turn that off.
Yeah, turn it off. And
why?
And why? What do you mean, why?
Okay.
Why would you want to take a chance of reporting
something? What if
something?
Someone that you know is posting a video of how they're about to end it all? That is the fastest way to report it, and then you can go into action and get that. Are you
fucking kidding me, Judy? That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about reporting a post so that they can get thrown in Facebook jail.
Okay, but it doesn't say that that's the purpose it serves.
What else would you be reporting a post for?
Okay, there have been people who have live streamed murders on Facebook. Why wouldn't you report that? To have it removed.
Yeah, I get it, but I think you're kind of missing the fucking point. It's to report a post, not to report a crime. Hey, let me make something real clear to you.
I'm not saying it's about reporting a crime.
No, I get it, but hold on. I'm just gonna make a point here, right? So here I am. I'm on Facebook, and I'm like, oh Jesus, look, Matt King, it just went live. Oh, look, Matt King is choking a clown. Oh, Matt King is now punching a clown. Oh wait, that's Michael Meredith. Anyway, so he's punching a clown. Oh, let me report this post instead of calling 911. You report a post and somebody at Facebook fucking Fantasyland goes, ooh, someone else we can throw in jail for 30 fucking days.
You're totally missing the point.
No, I'm not missing the point. I know what you're saying. But all they're going to do is flag the fucking post. They're not going to call authorities or do anything.
That's not what I'm talking about.
So what are they going to do with the post?
Oh, okay. How many times when there are something's live streamed, a heinous crime live streamed on Facebook, which has been several times in the last 2 years since we started the show, did we say that this shit doesn't belong on Facebook and that we need to report it and have it taken down immediately? Nobody needs to be seeing that shit.
Absolutely correct, except for one thing.
That's what I'm referring to. I'm not referring about notifying law enforcement. That's still your fucking job.
Well, I get it. I get that. But what I'm saying is, if the first thing you think is to fucking report a post rather than calling law enforcement, you've got a bigger issue than what is on fucking Facebook. Besides the fact that I honestly will agree, yes, maybe it shouldn't be on Facebook, and the person that did it is a fucking wacko, but you know what? I'm kind of glad it is on Facebook. Because it's right there for the whole fucking world to see.
Yeah, there's no more allegedly when you're in court.
Fucktard. Yeah. You know? Shit, turn that shit off. I wouldn't want to be looking at freaking, you know, oh, here we go.
Jeffrey Longevy says he teabagged a midget last week.
Yeah.
They're still carrying on the clown conversation where Matt King was beating a clown.
Yeah, well, you missed the point. You missed the point. He was punching the clown. It's got
I
another,
know.
there's another term.
Oh
okay.
my God.
Well, you were in the Air Force. I don't know if you actually get those kind of jokes.
I don't have a clown. To punch.
All right. So anyway, Judy's flicking her bean on fucking, spinning the hits of the 80s, 90s, and today. And
Double-clicking the mouse.
And she's doing it on Facebook Live. First of all, I don't want to see that. Okay? Nobody wants to see that, Judy. Stick to Pornhub. But hey, that is your right to do that, okay? That's your right to do that. Why should I accidentally shake my phone and report your post?
It's more involved than that. It doesn't just...
I don't
oh
care.
My God.
I don't care. Fuck Facebook.
As we sit here broadcasting from Facebook.
Yeah, I know, but fuck them.
I just don't understand why everybody's up in arms over it.
We're also on YouTube. So if you want to follow us and watch us on YouTube, because I'm guessing we're going to get shut off in 10, 9...
Right? I just don't understand why people are so fucking freaked out about it. I mean, the bots do more damage than anything. Think about it. How many times have you posted something recently, because it's happening more and more now, have you posted something where it's getting taken down as you're posting it because you can't even post it, and it's something you got off of Facebook?
Yeah. Did you see that we got we had one of our shows from 1.5 years taken down? Did you see that notification?
No, somehow I missed that. Oh, no, I did see that.
Yeah, it said that some broadcasting company flagged our post because we used something that belonged to them.
From 1.5 years ago.
Yeah. It was a shitty show anyway, so I don't care. Anyway.
It is getting quite ridiculous, though.
It is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. See, I told you Matt King's got issues. He wants to know if vibration sets it off. And he's asking his lady friends.
Asking for a friend.
Anyway. All right, so is there any more of that stupid fucking rant you were going off on?
No, asshole.
To talk about?
Fuck you.
Oh. Hey, we're back. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. I have to give you shit.
Whatever.
All right, it's time for Douche of the Week.
Yes!
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Threatcon 5 Radios. Douche of the Week.
Judy, you're up first.
Right on. This douche nugget. Hold on, let me find his... Shit, I lost the article.
Oh, Jesus. Prepared as usual.
Well, I had a bunch of extraneous bullshit things open. Okay, here we go. This fucktard with his goofy looking face, his name is Grayson Fritz. He is a pastor who was also a detective, who said in a sermon 2 weeks ago, this really angers me, so I'm having to breathe deeply, that people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender were freaks and worthy of death.
Jesus, that hurts.
Yeah.
I'm trisexual.
You'll try anything once, right?
Yeah.
So that in turn has caused a whole slew of mess for the police department, because now the prosecutors have to review all the cases he has investigated. This happened, actually, the sermon was given on June 2nd. He called for the government to send a riot team to the Pride Parade that we just had this past weekend. And he said that they should be arrested, tried, and if convicted, executed.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, that's mighty Christian of him.
Yeah, exactly. He says, okay, so before I read this next quote, there is the historic district in downtown Knoxville, the main strip where all the cool places are to hang out, is called Gay Street.
Okay.
He says, so someone took a video of his sermon and posted it online, and then a small newspaper called the Tennessee Holler got a hold of it. And the gentleman says that's the problem with law enforcement nowadays. They are chasing around cookie thieves when the real animals are on floats rolling down Gay Street. That's what the preacher said.
Wow.
Yeah. Now,
Well,
the reason that he said that that they should be punished was he was citing a quote from the Bible, but specifically the Old Testament. You know what else comes from the Old Testament?
No.
The word sodomy. That was born from stories out of the Old Testament. The story of a gentleman by the name of Lot who offers up his daughters to be gang raped simply so that the men that he's with one evening don't have gay sex in a group. Also, according to the Old Testament, if a woman is engaged to be married and someone rapes her, then that man has to pay the equivalent of, I don't know, it was like 50 shillings. It was like, I don't know, half a pound of gold or some shit like that. To
Wow.
the father of the girl that he raped, and then the rapist gets to marry the girl and never divorce her until the end of time. He always has to be married to her. So let's not pick and choose what we get to use from the Old Testament, because that's absolutely fucking disgusting. He's actually quoting Old Testament as a case to why gay people should be, hanged, killed, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just disgusted at this day and age, and I understand that people are not going to change their ways. There are people out there who are older. They're not going to change their perceptions because this is the way they grew up, whether it's they're against homosexuals, whether they're racist against blacks, they're not going to change. But you keep those opinions to your fucking self, and you don't build a sermon to preach to people in your church about it. That's fucking disgusting. Now, I've read some conflicting stories since then. One says that he was forced into retirement. Another one says he retired. And then another one says he was suspended without pay. So I don't know what's going on with that exactly. But it's absolutely disgusting to have an attitude like that. And, it's the South, unfortunately. Not everybody agrees with this new way of life.
As we've talked about before, we all know, I have a gay daughter. And
Yes.
I love her to death. Nothing's going to change that, regardless of, what her sexual orientation is. And I don't understand why people care. Why do people care? They're not.
Yeah.
Their actions are not affecting you. Now, there's some stuff out there that happen at some of these pride parades that I think is totally unacceptable. You can't be walking around butt-ass fucking naked if there's children there.
Right.
The parents that brought these children to these events need to be thrown in fucking jail. They're subjecting their children to something they should not be subjected to. But other than that, hey, you want to party in the streets during fucking Gay Pride Week? Go do it. Who fucking cares?
Who are they fucking hurting?
Exactly.
No one.
There's no cases of anybody rubbing up against somebody else and becoming gay. Okay?
It's not contagious.
It's not how it works. You don't have to worry about what somebody else is doing in their life because it doesn't affect you. And I don't understand why people can't fucking just put that shit aside. They are fucking Americans, just like
Absolutely.
just like the next guy. And what it comes down to,
just like that preacher is.
Yeah, and what it comes down to is somebody who is a freaking, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Bob Jordan says the Pride Parade is how he met John Bright.
Oh, that's pretty funny. What was I trying? Oh, have you ever noticed though? And this is why I hate fucking religion. Okay. these are the most fucking judgmental fucking people out there. Oh, well, the Bible says. Oh, the Bible says. I'm pretty sure the Bible also says, and don't quote me on it because I could totally be making this up, that you will be forgiven.
Judge ye not.
You know, as you stand before the Almighty, you will be forgiven. Gods are supposed to be fucking forgiven, right? Listen, and the biggest thing I have with Catholicism is that they put more stock in Jesus than they do in God himself. Okay? He's my fucking gardener. Why does this guy need so much fucking attention, for Christ's sakes? He doesn't even do a great job. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway.
You know, and Bulldog and I have said this 100 times on this show. You are free to enjoy your freedoms in this country. Freedom of speech is one of them, but you're also free to endure the pain that you have when your opinion is piss poor.
Yes.
And you're a racist or you're a homophobe or whatever it is that you hate. When you open your mouth, there's going to be repercussions.
Yeah, exactly. It's like fucking Cable when he killed Black Tom. I don't know what his name is. I just know he was African American. You know, you can't. The fucking racism. It's unbelievable. You can't be doing shit like that. You know, but you know that's that's pretty much it. Okay, so now it's time for my douche of the week, and this one is a first for me. Judy, you ever heard of Bernie Sanders?
Oh yes.
So let me tell you. Good old Bernie Sanders is my fucking douche of the week this week. Why?
Yay!
Because Bernie Sanders is now saying that he is going to implement a plan to erase all student debt. I'm going to break it down for you like this.
Wait,
Bernie,
I know some friends that will be very happy about this. So do tell.
So,
where are we going to find the money for this, Bulldog?
Let's see. So my tax money now needs to fucking fund the licensing of illegals and to pay off your student loans. This is how you pay off student loans. Okay?
You raise your right hand.
you do it like this. I took out a loan. I need to pay it back. There you go. It's as simple as that. You know,
but maybe, that means I have to go to work, Bulldog.
Maybe, just maybe, Bernie Sanders needs to understand this. Okay? Listen here there, Bern E. A guy who's a millionaire who is living off the very system that he is trying to fight. Interesting, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Wants to sit there and tell everybody that he is going to find a way to pay everybody's student loans off and make college free. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose of fucking, you know, an education. It's not a fucking right. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
You don't have the right to go to school. You have the privilege to go to school. If you did well enough in school and you know, earned the grades in order to move on to higher education, then you deserve that. But there's nowhere in the Magna Carta, no, I'm just kidding. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says you have the right to go to college. Okay? It is a privilege. If you took out student loans, be a fucking adult and pay them off. We don't need some socialist douchebag trying to tell us that our taxes need to go up because we're going to pay your fucking student loans off. So, Bernie, not only are you the douche of the week, but I got a fucking little word for you. Suck it. That's it. That's all I got to say about him. I don't even want to fucking go on it too long because the guy fucking pisses me off. Just looking at his fucking face makes me want to punch him. Want to punch him in his fucking mouth
ugly
hole.
mug. His mouth hole. His cake hole.
His fucking cake hole. Fuck. Ugh, boy. Unbelievable, though. I don't get these people. I really don't. I don't understand the politicians as a whole. You know, you got politicians that can't show up to a 9/11 freaking meeting, but they can.
Oh my God!
You know, but they can show up to. Oh my God, George Trey Cervantes is in here. Hey, bro, I haven't seen you in a long time. John Bright is here. Let's see who else is here. Kendra Ken's here.
Joe Cayley, did we mention him earlier? I don't know if he was in earlier.
Who?
Joe Cayley.
Joe Cayley is here.
Is that it?
Joe Cayley. Yeah, Joe Cayley's a good man. Very good man. But seriously, you know, what it comes down to with the student loan thing. No, I want to get back to the other senators. But this whole thing with the student loans, right? Maybe if you went to school for a valuable fucking degree, you wouldn't.
Oh my God! Yeah,
up,
don't even get me started on
you
that.
wouldn't even. You would not rack up millions of dollars in student debt. Well, I went to school for my first 4 years. I was doing underwater basket weaving, and then I found that wasn't really
liberal
enough.
arts.
So I decided that I wanted to get a degree in women's studies. That wasn't very good, so I decided early childhood education. And then I decided
Turns
that wasn't
out I don't want to
either.
be a teacher.
So I moved right along, and I decided to get a communications degree. But as you can tell, I'm really not that good in talking. So then I'm going to move on again, and I'm going to get a degree in finger painting. Seriously, dude, you just went to school for 8 fucking years, and you got nothing to show for it. And you wonder why you...
I have immense debt to show for it, Bulldog. Give me a job.
Yeah. Right? Oh. I just can't fathom.
I know. I can't even. I know. I'm right there with you.
You know? Go learn a fucking trade, like carpentry or plumbing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, you know, we're seeing a lot of is that people are, you know, there's too many people going to college and not enough people learning trades, and now we're suffering.
Yeah. Shit. Fuck.
And shit.
Fucking shit. All right.
Joe Cayley is early childhood education, aka you didn't pull out fast enough.
Wow. Okay. Moving right along. What's next?
Right along.
Our top 10?
Oh, jawohl.
All right. So this week's top 10, Judy, go ahead and introduce it.
All right. Let me grab.
Oh my God. Ready as usual.
Well, I didn't know we were doing it right this fucking second.
We do it the same fucking way every week.
Yeah, but we haven't been on consistently in like 3 months, so I don't know how it works anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Good point.
Tonight's top 10 is top 10 things that only exist to annoy people.
Like Judy. Oh.
Like this show.
Yep, probably.
See? Joe Cayley says Florida man.
We do that later.
We just do it kind of random, though. Okay, you want to start or you want me to start?
No. It's all you. Go ahead.
Okay, number 10 from The Simpsons. Hans Moleman was added to The Simpsons to spite aggrieved fans. According to the DVD commentary track for an early Simpsons episode, Hans Moleman, everyone's favorite peanut butter flavored Springfield resident, was a character nobody working on The Simpsons really thought all that much about when writing episodes. In fact, Moleman initially had no given name and was simply a background character referred to as Kindly Old Gent. This all changed, though, when fans who took exception to Moleman's unusual mole-like appearance, mole, a factor that supposedly led to the coining of his name, began writing to the show simply to complain about how ugly the character was. Because clearly these people have nothing better to do with their time.
Right.
Said letters, in addition to making fun of Moleman's design, because all the other Simpsons look so normal.
Yeah, right? Like, blue hair is normal. It's 8 feet
blue
above your head.
beehive.
Yeah.
It called for writers to completely remove the character from the show's canon, something the writers didn't want to do, presumably because they, like many, were all kinds of gay for Moleman.
Wow. That's telling.
In the aforementioned commentary track, Matt Groening explains the petulant whining of these entitled fans had the exact opposite intended effect on the show's writers, who began including Molman in more episodes just to spite them.
Good. We should bring the Dukes of Hazzard back just for that.
I agree.
Very reason. To annoy people. Number 9. And I don't really know where they're going with this one, so we're going to learn on our own. I mean, we're going to learn together. Experts on snacks of the salty variety note that origins of the humble potato chip have likely been lost in the winds of time. As such, it's impossible to say for sure who first thought of the idea of frying slices of potato thin enough to read a newspaper through and drenching them in salt. This being said, one of the most popular origin stories for potato chips is that they were invented by a chef entirely to annoy a finicky customer. The story goes that potato chips were invented by a New York-based chef named George Crumb in the 1850s, after he got into a heated argument with a customer. According to most versions of the tale, the customer repeatedly complained that Crumb's french fries were cut too thickly.
Oh, that's some bullshit right there.
With some versions positing, I think that's supposed to say posting, that the customer also complained that they were neither cooked nor salted enough. An annoyed Crumb said he had responded to this by slicing some potatoes as thinly as he could and frying the ever-loving crap out of them. To Crumb's astonishment, the customer ended up enjoying the fries, and other customers, intrigued by what the hell they were eating, got there when Harry met Sally on and ordered what he was having. So the story goes, because it's alternatively alleged that potato chips were invented by accident when someone dumped a bunch of potato slices into a deep fat fryer. Now, see, that's not where I thought this was going. I thought it was the bag. You know, like you think you're getting a bag of potato chips and you open it up and it's only like a quarter full.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Some of the contents may have settled in the shipment. Well, if it actually put something in there, maybe we wouldn't have this issue.
Yeah, it's crazy shit. I don't get it.
Number 8. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I Am the Walrus was written by John Lennon to be as obtuse as possible to annoy fans. I'm quite a fan of the Beatles, and I know I'm pretty familiar with this song. I Am the Walrus is widely considered to be one of the more, shall we say, unusual Beatles songs ever written, also known as the drug-laden era of the Beatles. And fans have spent years trying to discern what, if anything, the lyrics actually mean. A fact that is said to have endlessly amused John Lennon, who wrote the song purely to annoy the kind of people who wasted their time dissecting Beatles songs. You see, it's reported that shortly prior to penning the song, Lennon read an article detailing how English teachers across the UK were studying the Beatles' lyrics. Lennon found this idea hilarious and set about writing a song crammed with as many nonsense phrases as possible. Amazingly, despite Lennon openly admitting that the song was supposed to poke fun at and frustrate people who analyzed the lyrics to Beatles songs, and that the lyrics were a combination of a Lewis Carroll poem and a bunch of stuff he pulled straight out of his anus. So, some fans contend that there is a deeper meaning to them nobody has yet discovered. It is completely nonsensical.
Nonsensical.
Yes. But it's one of their hits.
I don't understand. This list sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
There's a couple good ones on there.
There's a couple good ones, but this next one is just fucking out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, what number is this? This is number 7.
Yes.
There's a parcel of land in New York the city doesn't own because it annoyed exactly one guy.
Just...
Yeah. Tucked away in New York's West Village is a small triangle-shaped parcel of land marked with a simple, unassuming plaque. The purpose of this plaque, beyond looking cool, we guess, is that it marks the final piece of New York property once owned by a guy named David Hess. In the early 1900s, the city of New York used the powers of eminent domain to bulldoze a hotel belonging to Hess, in addition to a bunch of other buildings. The city, however, wasn't as thorough as it thought, and eventually emerged that a small piece of land that technically belonged to Hess had been overlooked. Wanting to get back at the city, and despite everyone involved with the destruction of his beloved hotel, Hess absolutely refused to sell his final patch of land to the city and resisted every attempt to take control of it via the courts. Hess was so insistent about this that he went as far as to instruct his estate to continue sticking to the city after he died, and his lawyers spent thousands of dollars fighting to keep control of the land, which is now colloquially, yeah, that word, known as the Hess Triangle. After successfully defending the matter in court, Hess Estate decided to annoy the city just a little more by placing a plaque upon it that reads, "Property of the Hess Estate, which has never been dedicated for public purposes."
You really got to be petty if you're going to pay some lawyers to fight your case after you're dead.
Right? Yeah. Fuck those guys.
You know, I don't know if you guys know, but, you know, Bulldog and I have talked about our own battles that we've been struggling with lately, and I'm pretty sure I'm going through a bout of depression. These people in this article make me feel so much better about my current situation.
Right? Hey, we got a couple new people in here. Some new, some old. Michael Clatchus. Yeah, fucking get over it. I'll say it any way I want. Charles Moon. Hey, it's true. My show, my rules.
You got a point there.
Charles Moon and Jim Buys is here. There we go. All right. Yeah, moving right along.
Number 6. SpongeBob's opening theme was written just to annoy parents.
Oh. He lives in a pineapple under the tree, under the sea.
Oh, sorry. The opening to SpongeBob SquarePants is a veritable assault on the senses. I told you there were some good ones in there. It's loud, it's obnoxious, and the lyrics are so infectiously catchy that running your fingers along the back of a person with smallpox reveals them in Morse code. Something, it turns out, was the intention of the show's creator.
Oh, Patrick. Let's head down to the Krusty Krab and make some Krabby Patties.
Apparently, the idea was to make the opening of SpongeBob SquarePants so annoying that kids couldn't possibly ignore it. And the whole thing was crafted specifically to make kids want to jump around like a bunch of jackasses.
Yeah.
Why? I love this. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, the show originally aired in the morning, and the creators wanted any kids watching it to get so worked up and excited that they'd yell and scream enough to wake up their parents.
Jesus.
Listen, I raised 3 children. I can tell you that if that theme was written just to annoy parents, they were successful in their mission.
Yeah.
Of course, for the rest of the day after the kids would watch it, I would walk around going, SpongeBob SquarePants! And I'd be like, damn it!
Oh, SpongeBob. Okay, number 5. There's a song out there that was written just to make you angry and upset. Surprisingly, it wasn't written by Katy Perry. The most unwanted song is perhaps one of the most ambitious pieces of music ever composed. Representing the findings of a poll to determine the kinds of music people like the least, literally every aspect of the song was crafted with a singular purpose in mind, annoying as many people listening as possible. Containing practically every element of music the general public agreed sounded offensive to the ear, the most unwanted song is horrifying amalgamation of styles and instruments that never lets up. Featuring everything from opera rapping to a blistering bagpipe solo, the song, if you can even call it that, is an unending battering ram of sound designed to grind away at your sanity. The abomination of the song is the brainchild of 3 men, Vitaly Komar, Alex Melamind, and David Soldier, who clearly never took Jeff Goldblum's warnings about stopping to think about doing things during the Jurassic Park to heart. Yeah.
I listened to just, like, I don't know, 3.2 seconds of that song.
It's gonna be our new fucking theme song.
Or theme song?
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should go for it. Warren Buffett.
You know what's
God, I
another
love
annoying song?
What?
I'm gonna take my horse to the
Oh
old
my
town
God!
road.
Shut
I'm gonna
up!
ride till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back.
Do you know they're calling that a cultural appropriation?
Yeah, well, it's fucking annoying.
It's annoying, that's for sure. Yeah. Number 4, Warren Buffett bought Berkshire Hathaway to spite the previous owners. This guy's got the money to spite people and say fuck you at the same time. Considering most every sentence ever written about Warren Buffett uses the modifier billionaire right before his name, it's safe to say he's doing okay financially. However, according to Buffett, there's at least one of his many business holdings that he intensely regrets investing in, which is Berkshire Hathaway, a company that has its finger in nearly every corporate pie in America. I'm strangely aroused by that. Including Apple, Coca-Cola, Southwest Airlines, and Dairy Queen. Under Buffett's leadership, it has become one of the most successful conglomerates on Earth. Despite all of the success that Berkshire Hathaway has enjoyed with Buffett as owner, the man himself has claimed that buying the company was a monumentally stupid decision. He says this because he bought it not because it was a sound business decision, but to annoy exactly one man, a manager for the company who slighted him. Specifically,
I'll fix your ass.
Yeah, I'll fix your dumb ass.
I'm gonna buy that company.
And then I'm going to terminate your dumb ass. Specifically, Buffett claims to have bought the company after a former manager reneged on an oral agreement to buy... Oh my
God, it sounds like something Judy's found on fucking Pornhub. Oh, never mind. Not that kind of oral. Okay, got you.
Oh, my bad. On an oral agreement to buy the stock he had already had in the company for 1/8 of a point lower than agreed upon. In response, Buffett then, rather than selling the stock he had for this new lower price, hate bought more stock until he owned the company, then fired the manager who made the offer.
Wow.
Despite Berkshire Hathaway being regarded as one of Buffett's soundest investments today, back then the deal was seen as a huge mistake, something Buffett himself has openly acknowledged multiple times. That's pretty bad. The person at that company pissed me off, so I'm going to buy that company. I'm going to fire his fucking dumbass. That's you. You've made it. You have arrived if you're capable of doing that.
There you go. There you go. All right, number 3. I'm not reading the headline. According to Ferruccio Lamborghini, the namesake of the world-famous hypercar manufacturer that now bears his name, the only reason he started the company was because of an argument over a Ferrari. You see, prior to making the kind of cars that Dr. Strange drives, Lamborghini ran a very successful tractor business that also sold air conditioners. So successful, in fact, that he was able to buy himself a number of Ferraris, all of which he claims were plagued by a single persistent problem with the clutch. Lamborghini eventually got so frustrated by this that he decided to complain about the issue to Enzo Ferrari himself. In a 1991 interview with Thoroughbred and Classic Cars, an elderly Lamborghini recalled that his meeting went incredibly poorly and resulted in Ferrari angrily ejecting Lamborghini from his office.
Well,
Ferrari was apparently incensed by Lamborghini's gall and laughed off his comments, quipping as he slammed the door, "You may be able to drive a tractor, but you will never be able to handle a Ferrari properly." According to Lamborghini, this singular comment is pretty much the only reason he decided to start making supercars. Meaning the only reason Lamborghini ever exists is because the owner wanted to spite Ferrari. Isn't business a fun and whimsical adventure?
That's great.
Nice.
This is very interesting. Tubular Bells 2 was basically Mike Oldfield sticking it to Virgin Records. Tubular Bells.
Dean Cerny said, fastest lawnmowers in Italy.
Right. The album with that song from The Exorcist on it, which is Tubular Bells, is noted as being the record that helped launch Virgin Records and establish Mike Oldfield as a bell-playing musical god. Virgin Records was apparently very pleased with the success of the album and reportedly spent years hassling Oldfield to record a sequel. A request the musician actively resisted because nobody tells Mike Oldfield what to do.
Oh, shit.
After years of being harassed by Virgin executives. Does this sound like Pornhub again?
I don't think they mean that kind of virgins.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Damn it, Judy.
Oldfield eventually slipped the grasp of the company and struck out on his own and signed with Warner Music.
Oh, shit.
So what did Mike Oldfield do upon being given complete and utter autonomy and the freedom to do whatever he pleased? Well, he recorded Tubular Bells 2, of course. Yes, the moment Virgin Records got off his back about recording a sequel to his most famous album, Oldfield went right ahead and did just that. Just that, particularly to annoy Virgin. The lesson here being, nobody tells Mike Oldfield what to do.
Ain't the boss of me.
You're not the
Start
boss.
my own record company.
Bitches.
That's fucked up.
When I was talking about Pornhub, Mitchell Rankinator says, wrong tab again, Judy. My bad.
Yeah. The right for women to vote in New Zealand passed because everyone hated one guy. This is number one, fittingly.
Yay, women's rights.
Prior to women gaining the ability to vote throughout New Zealand, one of the staunchest opponents to the bill was Kiwi Premier named Richard Sendon. As an idea of the kind of man Sendon was, just consider for a moment that his nickname, amongst his peers, was simply King Dick. Moving swiftly, no, and once again, we are not talking about Pornhub. It is noted that Sendon's opposition to the bill and the fact nobody really liked him is probably the only reason it eventually ended up becoming enshrined in law. You see, Sendon was so annoyed at the prospect of these pesky women getting their vaginas all up in his politics that he actively sought to sabotage the bill at every turn.
Oh my God.
To accomplish this, Sendon framed the suffrages as killjoy spoilsports who wanted to ban alcohol in order to demonize them in the minds of the common man. Following this, Sendon turned his attention to actual politicians, using his influence to coerce and manipulate people into voting the way he wanted, which totally worked at first. However, Sendon got just a little too greedy, and after learning that he needed only a single vote to kill the bill in the upper house, harangued a newly minted councillor who supported women's rights into changing his vote. This act so infuriated a pair of councillors who, up until this point, had supported Sendon that they changed their vote out of spite to make him look like an idiot. In the process, the two men also so happened to make New Zealand one of the first countries on earth to give women the ability to vote. There you go.
There you go.
There's
yay, women's rights. Well, you get it how you get it.
Yep, there you go. Oh my God, these fucking idiots. Bob Jordan said, wait, women can vote?
Women can vote? I saw that. That's great.
John Bright said, no need in my house. Ain't no elections in the kitchen or the bedroom.
Yeah, because there's nothing going on in there either.
Yeah, nothing's going on in either one of those rooms, Bubba. Oh, the cunt from Down Under's here. Bill Gammon.
Sweet.
Nice. Dwayne Troll's here. Why am I talking like an Australian?
Because you're weird.
I'm fucking weird. Fucking come down here and drink some beer. Oh, we shoot some fucking kangaroo. And some dingoes. Shut the fuck up. Alright, anyway. Oh, moving right along. What's up next? News? Is it news time?
Do we want to do news or do we want to do Florida Man? It's 8:11.
8:11. I don't know. Let's, what do you think? I mean, news, Florida Man, it's all kind of the same, right?
Yeah, we could do all of the same and just identify Florida Man stories.
Yeah,
how about
let's
that?
Do it.
Right on. I've got a Florida one to lead off if you're all
as well, so let's do it.
Sweet. Florida Man. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
So
dun.
do you think the superhero, if we made a caricature drawing of a Florida Man for this segment, do you think that superhero would have a mullet?
I kind of think that the superhero representing Florida would look a lot like Blank Man. He'd probably have his eyes would be crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So, Miami, my first story is out of Miami. A man on trial, it's not a very long story. A man on trial for burglary decided to play dirty last week in a Miami-Dade courtroom. 33-year-old Dorleans Philidor was sitting in a wheelchair near the judge. That's when witnesses say he tried to throw feces at her. That's one way to get out of court.
Oh, God.
Philidor's trial was then moved so the courtroom could be sanitized. There is no word on whether Philidor will face additional charges. So, was he upset because maybe the judge was having a bad hair day, or what's going on here? I need more info. This is a fine example of piss poor journalism.
Yeah, well, the next story I have is actually quite the same, and it also includes feces.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, this one was sent to me by Dean Cerny earlier today, and there's not really much of a story, so I'm going to kind of ad-lib.
I hate that.
Okay?
Yeah.
Florida man was arrested for selling poop behind a children's daycare.
What the fuck?
There's a lot that needs to be explained here. Like, first, what kind of poop was he selling? Was it children's poop? Was it cat poop?
Dog poop?
Dog poop. I mean, what kind of poop was this man selling? And I'd like to know how much he was asking. This could be important. I mean, this stuff could lead to further entrepreneurship. I mean, we need to know. But this guy is one happy motherfucker in his goddamn freaking mugshot, that's for sure. I mean, are they getting that lazy in Florida that these are the stories they're telling us? Florida man arrested for selling poop behind a children's daycare. And that's all you need to know?
The end. Joe Cayley says, who was the buyer?
Yeah, I mean, these are things we want to know.
Bob Jordan says, I throw my feces in Walmart to get the checkout line to move faster.
Oh, God.
Autumn Lynn just joined us. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Oh, shit.
Alrighty.
Some of these are just too difficult to believe.
Yeah,
maybe
I saw Sarah Lynn in here. And I saw somebody else too, and I'm sorry. But we'll get to you. All right. Yeah, that's it.
Dean Cerny said something. I don't want to know this information, and I also don't want to know how you know, Dean Cerny. It says for fecal transplants, look it up. It exists.
Michael Klassius, you know that dude. Love myself, Florida. Never a dull moment.
Yeah, imagine living there.
No.
We're just reading the news from out of there. Imagine living there.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, yeah, well, not surprising. Moving right along.
I'm going to
Tyler Hess says, I wonder who was the narc.
Yeah.
Yeah, who narcs?
Stitches, bitches.
Hey, there's a guy back there selling poop. I want you to do something about it. I don't think you should be out here selling poop.
Maybe the buyer was an undercover police officer.
Maybe the guy that fucking turned him in was trying to sell poop himself, and he stepped in on his fucking turf.
He stepped in something, all right.
Moving right along.
I have not watched this video yet, but there is a video, allegedly. Okay. A Florida resident was arrested at the Sunoco gas station. Mama Ronick, I guess is how you say that. Mama, whatever. An onlooker's video really fleshed out details of this arrest.
Oh, shit.
Village police swarmed a gas station. Village police.
Like, wait a minute. What are we referring to here?
Do they have pitchforks?
The village police.
And torches?
The village police. You know, you say that, and I see this guy running around with a fucking Indian and a fucking cowboy next to him and a little fucking, you know, I don't know.
Sailor.
Yeah. Oh, you snorted drink, everybody.
I snorted drink, everybody. Oh, shit. So the village police swarmed a gas station recently. I can't get over that. To stop a naked 36-year-old man who danced in the parking lot before he tried to drive away as onlookers captured video of the strange scene. The man from Hobie Sound, Florida appeared to be on drugs. Really?
You don't say.
That's never happened in any of our stories in
Yeah.
all of the years that we've been doing this.
And I wonder why it's important for them to throw some of the details into the fucking story. They were there to arrest a 36-year-old naked man. They didn't pay any attention to the 32-year-old naked man down the street.
Right? Or the 70-year-old, because you know what? At this point, what has he got to lose?
Yeah. Kills me.
So he appeared to be on drugs, Police Lieutenant Sandra DeRuza said today about the incident, which was captured on video by someone who was watching the arrest unfold. It is Westchester's brush with the Florida man meme,
Uh-oh.
a viral social media joke that highlights wacky stories of Florida folks running afoul of the law. Yeah, we started that. It is also the second video catching fire on social media of someone stripping down in Westchester as the weather heats up. Well, shit, Bulldog, maybe we were wrong. They were there to arrest the 36-year-old, but there was another freak running around as well. Last week, a man was filmed swimming in the Renaissance Plaza fountain in White Plains. Well, how hot was it? What time of day was this? Because, you know, between 10 and 2, the sun is most intense. The Mamaroneck encounter occurred around 10:10 p.m. on June 11th at the Sunoco gas station. Officers responded after an employee there reported someone acting erratically. I don't know, that sounds like a good time to me. As depicted in a video posted on Facebook by an onlooker, police are in the parking lot as the man prances out of the gas station's food mart and into the car next to a gas pump. The man then tried to drive away, but 2 police cars boxed his car in at the parking lot's Mamaroneck Avenue exit, where several officers surrounded the man's car.
You know, some of the best parties I've been to, somebody wound up naked.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually
Cops
the girls
have no tolerance for fucking fun.
I know, right? We're going to call them the fun police from now on.
Yeah.
So he was charged with operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of drugs and public lewdness, both which are misdemeanors, and unlawful possession of marijuana.
Wow.
This guy was just trying to have a good time, and somebody went, snitched, and ruined it.
Unbelievable. Unacceptable.
Absolutely.
This next story takes us to Bloomington, Indiana. We don't do a lot of stories from Indiana. You never know what you're going to get when you go to church. Enlightenment, a sense of community and friendship, perhaps. Stoned out of your gourd. Apparently that can happen too. At least that was the case for 6 congregation members of the St. John's Apostle Catholic Church in Bloomington, Indiana last year. The 6 thought they were indulging in some sinfully delicious cookies.
Jesus.
As it turns out, they were correct. A 74-year-old parishioner, identified only as Mr. Jones, is now accused of lacing the cookies with THC.
Yeah!
Several congregants, aged 12 to 70, ended up in a local emergency room on that fateful day, complaining of adverse effects from the cookies, which they reported as tasting unusually salty. Oh, what else did he put in the cookie?
No,
Mr.
nobody
Jones
likes
initially
salty.
admitted to making the cookies, but denied adding an illegal substance. When the police obtained a warrant to search his home and found an orange pill bottle containing capsules of a brown, oily substance, which later tested positive for marijuana, the gentleman baker turned himself in after a warrant for his arrest was issued. He's been charged with criminal recklessness and possession of hash oil. We are praying for everyone involved, said Father Daniel Mahan of the church. We are praying for Mr. Jones. We are keeping in prayer that who took ill, that Sunday we are praying for justice with mercy. Looks like Mr. Jones is about to learn the proverbial cookie crumbles. I think the priest is just mad he didn't get none of that fucking sinful cookie.
Right.
Yep.
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
How do you put lettuce in cookies?
I don't
know. Moving right along. Alabama. This one actually is from Jade Lopez. I appreciate the contribution that she sent to me today. A Tuscaloosa County man Tuscaloosa County man accused of impersonating a ride-sharing driver has been arrested and indicted on multiple charges. Tommy Beard was arrested in March and charged with 2 counts of kidnapping and impersonating a transportation network company driver. Beard is accused of picking up an intoxicated college woman from Tuscaloosa bars. When he was arrested, police said they found his photos on his phone of the unconscious clothed woman in his backseat that focused on her breast and crotch area. Court records also said when 62-year-old Beard was arrested, he was wearing a fully erect artificial penis. Let me repeat that. Fully erect artificial penis. Additionally, it gets more disgusting. Investigators said when they searched Beard's car, they found a loaded gun and a bottle of hair conditioner.
Okay. What's the hair conditioner for?
We don't want to know, Bulldog. We're just gonna... He's got a goatee and he has very nice hair. How's that?
Well, there you go. Or it
His
could have
hands
been
were
used
drying.
as a ad lib. Never mind.
Yeah, FAP facilitator.
Yeah, fat facilitator. David Checker wants to know, what does an artificial non-erect penis look like? Really, David? Really?
Ooh.
Really?
I don't know. Did they actually sell those? Does anybody know? Asking
I don't know.
for
I
a friend.
I mean, ask John Bright. He probably has one.
Pop Jordan says, this is why I don't use the taxi service in St. Louis anymore. Oh, shit.
This is a great story right here, and I know a lot of our military folk in here are gonna love this. A few years back, a hacker associated with an activist group, Anonymous, reacted to the ISIS-run Orlando shootings by hacking the Twitter accounts belonging to supporters of ISIS to flood them with gay porn.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the same hacker, Wachula Ghost, has hit back with the same stunt. As said, he first targeted ISIS in the wake of the Orlando Pulse nightclub attack, where Omar Martin shot dead 49 people. He notes that ISIS is easier to hack than you might think, and that he can get into their social media accounts in under a minute because they have limited technical abilities. Double burn. Here's what he had to say at the time of the first hacking. We started to take over their accounts with porn and gay pride images, basically just to troll them. We thought that putting the naked images would offend them. It did for the lives lost in Orlando. Daesh would have been spreading and praising the attack. So I thought I would defend those who were lost, and taking of innocent lives will not be tolerated. And now Wachilagos has vowed to continue to flood ISIS social media accounts with gay porn despite receiving death threats. Because he said, I don't give a fuck. I get beheading images, death threats. We're going to kill you, and that's good, because if they are focusing on me, they're not doing anything else. We started to take over their accounts with porn and gay pride images, basically just to troll them. We thought that putting the naked images would offend them. If the social media people like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram would stand up and do something, it would help. Sometimes you have to stand up and make a change for the good. One thing I do want to say is we aren't using graphic porn, and our purpose is not to offend Muslims. Our actions are directed at jihadist extremists. Many of our own group of hackers are Muslim, and we respect all their religions and do not take innocent lives. He goes on to say that he will continue to hack them. And
I love this guy.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking badass.
He's my new hero.
Yeah, right?
So I've got another Florida man. This one was sent to me by Felix Irving. Thank you very much.
Traitor.
It's because I'm cuter. A Florida high school teacher didn't just give her student an F. Instead, she wrote, WTF is this, on a paper to signal he would be getting a 0.
Wow.
Melinda Smith said she was shocked when her son handed her his science homework and WTF is this was written across the top. It wasn't anything about not getting the credit. It was more so the language that was very inappropriate and not acceptable for a teacher whatsoever.
Bullshit.
Now,
what if it said, what is this for? What's this for?
It doesn't, I promise. So the mom is now calling for the teacher at Rutherford High School to account for her actions. I think for sure she needs to be reprimanded. I believe that something should be placed in her file.
Oh.
What kind of something are we talking about? Because a couple stories ago, somebody was selling poop.
I want some poop in her file.
The teacher in question does not want to respond publicly to the situation. Rutherford Principal Coy Pilson said they are taking the necessary steps to deal with the incident and will not release the teacher's name at this time. Once we were notified, I notified district officials and our HR has been involved. Uh-oh, HR got involved. Shit just got real. And they're currently
HR doesn't normally do their job properly.
They're currently investigating the situation, Pilson said. He said he has spoken with the teacher regarding appropriate classroom conduct. She was apologetic, and it was a mistake on her part.
Well, at least she admitted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, acceptance is half the battle.
Sorry. Yeah, at least she admitted she was sorry she got caught.
Yeah.
Pilson said he wants the community to know one thing about Rutherford High School. All of the teachers at Rutherford High are caring, loving teachers, and we're also human, so we make mistakes. But we understand that we are called to a high professional standard, and when we make mistakes, we try to correct those mistakes and move forward. It's unclear if any action will be taken against the teacher at this time. Now, when Felix sent this to me, he said, shit like this is why Florida is so Florida.
Yeah. Right.
Now, I'm all for cussing around kids. Lord knows I did not filter around my children when I was raising them, and my little young ducklings in front of me. But, you know, no matter how much you want your kids to be sheltered, we got to give some criticism here. You know, you shouldn't be saying things like WTF or this fucking sucks to kids ever. It needs to be a little more constructive, like this fucking sucks because you can't spell, or this fucking sucks because you've never cracked open a book to research and educate yourself. Yeah. That would be definitely more acceptable if it were more constructive criticism. How's that?
Yeah.
Don't
What is wrong with you, you big fucking dummy? No, just kidding.
Yeah, right? That's completely acceptable.
Yeah. What the fuck? That's not
You have
acceptable.
identified there's a problem, and we need to figure out what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so this next story was sent to me from James Cerny. It comes from Youngstown, Ohio, where Youngstown police say a man shot up an apartment after he discovered that he was hanging out with a male prostitute dressed as a woman. Well, then it would be a prostitute man. Yeah. Okay. Do you blame him? Just after 9:30 a.m., which apparently that's the new time you pick up whores, a man allegedly picked up a female on Youngstown South Side to bring back to a hotel. Allegedly picked up a female.
Allegedly.
I like how he puts that. When the suspect took the alleged prostitute to the hotel, he then realized that he picked up a man dressed in woman's clothing. According to the report, the suspect became furious and told the victim he was going to grab his gun. The victim fled the scene before the suspect arrived back in the room with the gun. The report states the suspect went to the victim's apartment and fired several rounds on the home. 2 other people were upstairs at the time of the shooting, contacted police. Police say they had collected 8 shell casings. Police reported that there are no injuries and that they are looking for the suspect. There has been no arrest made. There's a lot of question marks in this story. First of all, how did the guy know where the prostitute lived?
Those aren't my pants. Oh.
Okay. Next. This is why you use a revolver.
Bob Jordan says, that's when I pick them up, stupid night shift.
Jesus. 9 o'clock in the morning. There you go.
There you have it.
There you have it.
Oh, shit. I love this story. It's cute and funny. Kilgore, Texas. An officer's pride was on the line when he was hijacked unexpectedly by a pit bull. Police said officers were dispatched to an animal control call on Saturday. The officer located a pit bull running around and thought he might be able to capture the dog quickly. He opened his back door to try and get the dog in the back seat, but it didn't quite go as planned.
You're not wrong.
The officer had the driver's door open, and the dog decided he wasn't going to be caged today. He hopped in the front seat and then became aggressive. The door was shut to protect the officer from the dog, and then he was hijacked. The dog was now enjoying the AC and the officer's beef jerky. After hearing on the scanner about the hijacking, the chief texted the officer asking questions. I'm willing to bet that what I just read on the last story was in that text message somewhere. WTF was in there somewhere. The officer texted the picture of the dog and said he didn't look too happy. The officer then responded, he ain't, and neither am I. The animal control officer came to the rescue and safely took the dog into custody. The Post said the only injury occurred was the officer's pride. And he lost his beef jerky. I'm going to post a link to this article because the dog's look on his face says it all. Like, fuck you, back off, bitch. You are not getting my beef jerky. You know, it's now my beef jerky. Any questions? See this grin I'm sporting.
Yeah.
Hey, the pit bull got AC and a snack. Win. Okay, so I just put you can actually see a thumbnail of the picture of the article in the comments.
Matt
Really?
Matt Bartberger's here and says we need to stop changing the clocks. See, going back to the original rant in the story, we have to start taking accountability for ourselves. It's no one else's fault that you don't know what time the show goes on. Mickey Severson is here.
He says, who's a good boy, talking to the dog. That's what I thought too. It's a beautiful pit bull. Amanda Melton called him Officer Carl. True
That's
story.
Funny. Collier County, Florida. Deputies responded to an incident of a male taking his clothes off, dancing strangely in a
Or
McDonald's.
naked people.
Witnesses believe the man must have been on drugs. You don't say.
Really?
The witnesses also stated that it looked as though the male was trying to have relations with a railing.
What kind of relations? Are we talking about, like, he ain't heavy, that's my brother?
No, not at all. Deputies were dispatched to the McDonald's on 2886 Tamamani Trail East in Naples, where they recognized a man named John Morgan. Oh, Jesus, they recognized him. They were like, oh, it's him again.
Oh,
and
yep,
look at, there he
is.
goes. He's fucking the railing. Who was 63 years old, who they have had contact with in the past. Morgan had already trespassed from that location before. He was placed under arrest and charged with trespass on property other than structure. And that's where they end the story. Now, I want to know if he got charged.
Info.
I want to know if he got charged with fucking raping a railing. That's not cool.
What would the charges be there? Exactly.
Public indecency and lewdness.
Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Public intox.
Yeah. Shit. Something.
I don't remember who sent this to me.
I act the same way every time they bring back the McRib. Fucking Bob George. Bob, damn it. Gee. Whoa.
Whoa.
Bob. Whoa.
Oh, Bulldog said whoa. Drink, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. That's my word, huh?
Whoa. That's your thing. Mine is snorting. Police in central Poland responded to a late evening call over an incident that surely sent chills down the spines of Russophobe conspiracy theorists.
Oh, Jesus.
A T-55 tank rampaging down the main street.
Nice.
Yeah.
Been there before?
When police arrived at the scene in the town of I'm not even sure how to say this. Pajenko? Pazanko. I don't know.
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Just
They
say
found the Soviet-era tank casually parked on a central roadway with its 2 occupants nearby. One of them, whom was an intoxicated 49-year-old man who had been in the driver's seat. As it turns out, he had been authorized to drive the vehicle. Where do you sign up for that?
Right?
Although his superiors presumably...
Normally you have to go to basic training first for that.
I know, right? Although his superiors presumably only wanted him to move it off and on the damaged trailer on which it was being transported, rather than driving it through the city center. They also likely expected him to remain sober while operating the 36-ton armored combat vehicle.
It's a suggestion.
To make matters worse, local media report that there was no insurance policy on the tank. Oh yeah, that's the worst of it.
Yeah, right.
Police were unable to get the tank off the street and onto a trailer until 5 a.m. The bulletproof joyride could cost the driver 2 years behind bars for driving under the influence and up to 8 years for creating a dangerous situation, although there are no reports of anything being destroyed or run over despite the escapade.
Whoa. Didn't they tell him to get in it and move it?
What's so dangerous?
But didn't they tell him to get in it and move it?
What? Was this thing loaded?
Hey.
Is that why it was dangerous?
Hey, shut up, stupid.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah,
they
they
tell
told
him
him.
to get in and move it? They set this motherfucker up. Get in there and move that onto the trailer. Yeah, we know you're drunk. Don't worry about it. We're going to charge you with that later.
So, just like you'd expect, social media users didn't let us down. On Twitter, quite a number of people commented that the incident had a striking similar look to the newer installments of the popular game Grand Theft Auto, only with a distinctively Polish twist. Another person suggested that the driver's drunken state may have resulted in some geographical and perhaps historical confusion. And it was the user Cassandro says, when you start to invade Poland but realize you're already in Poland.
Oh, there's a Polish joke there.
Yeah, somewhere. While the idea of an actual Russian tank attack in our day and age would seem laughable to most, that certainly isn't the point of view of the current government in Warsaw. On Thursday, Polish President Andrzej Duda cited a litany of historical grievances against Russia while signing a massive new defense deal. Really, that's the last line. Politics. This was a funny story, and there you go, Mr. Writer, ruining it with politics.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, seriously, this sounds like a good time. I want to meet this guy when he gets out. We're going to go party together.
There you
I
go.
think I'm
There you go.
forced like this. That's what we're doing.
There you go. So I got this next story from two individuals, one from John Widoff and the other one from Terrell Gould. And I'm going to tell you that when I got them, I was like, fuck, I already got that story. Until I read the stories, they are not actually the same.
Oh, shit.
They are the same story, but not... you'll get it. Okay.
Okay.
So first, the story sent to me by... hold on. Who sent the first one? The first one is from Terrell Gould. Okay. Man trained attack squirrel by giving it meth, according to cops.
I have that story.
A U.S. man allegedly trained up his own attack squirrel by giving it meth to make it aggressive. Now, I bet that's a sentence you didn't think you'd be reading today.
No.
Cops from Limestone County, Alabama, say that Mickey Polk kept the cute little animal in a cage in his home and fed it drugs to make it jumpy and aggressive. Police arrived at the property on Monday to execute a search warrant after receiving reports that Polk was keeping a squirrel there and giving it drugs. Sheriff spokesman Stephen Young told AL.com via a news release, prior to the search warrant, investigators were informed that Mickey Polk kept an attack squirrel inside his apartment and that he fed it meth to keep it aggressive. The search turned up meth, drug paraphernalia, body armor, and the squirrel in question. 35-year-old Polk wasn't present at the time police came calling, but instead they found another man, 37-year-old Ronnie Reynolds. He was arrested and charged with possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and loitering at a known drug house. He was taken to Limestone County Jail and was later released on $4,000 bail. A warrant has been issued for Polk on charges of possession of controlled substance, unlawful possession of a firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia. After cops discovered the squirrel, they called animal control out to the property, who called the Alabama Game and Fish Division of the Department of Conservation for help. The department told officers it was illegal to keep a squirrel as a pet and recommend they release it back into the wild as soon as possible. But the poor thing's going to be like fucking craving that fucking
Twitchy,
meth.
yeah.
The animal wasn't tested for drug consumption, with Sheriff Mike Blakely's office quite rightly explaining there is no safe way to test a squirrel for meth. Thankfully for the little fella, there's a happy ending. He was successfully released into the wild and is presumably gone clean now. Yeah, okay. This isn't the first time someone has allegedly roped an innocent animal into a life of crime.
Terrell Gould says, how's a squirrel supposed to attack with meth teeth?
Right? Earlier this year, it was reported police in Brazil had seized a lookout parrot. Remember that one? We covered that.
Yes.
The bird was heard to shout, "Mama, police!" All right, so anyway, so that's that. Now, the next story that was sent by John Whittorf is the hunt is on for a man who in Alabama who kept a meth-fueled attack squirrel. On Monday, officers responded to calls that Mickey Polk, 35 years old, was allegedly keeping the squirrel, and the house search showed that there was drugs and that he was in fact keeping the attack squirrel. Young goes on to saying that he had obtained a search warrant. Animal control and narcotics officers searched the home, which is located in the 21,000 block of Piney Chapel Road, where they seized several illegal items, including a attack squirrel, meth, drug paraphernalia, ammunition, body armor. It's needless to say that it's quite a strange set of possession for anyone. They ain't been to my house. Alabama Game and Fish Division of the Department of Conservation were also contacted, and they later recommended release of the squirrel back into the wild. He is facing charges along with the possession of controlled substance, certain persons forbidden to possess firearms, the possession of drug paraphernalia. Were all quite serious charges. But there are many questions that need to be answered. But Polk is the only one that can. Why would anyone need or even want to keep a meth-crazed attack squirrel in their apartment? It's not only unfair to the squirrel, but also anyone who it is set upon. Who knows the havoc it could have caused in the building? The hunt for Polk continued, and hopefully police who are working tirelessly around the clock will catch this peculiar man. Now, I want to know why he's not being charged with fucking bad treatment of animals.
Yeah, yeah, animal cruelty, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a squirrel, but...
Trying to get a nut. So move your butt. We're busting out into song lyrics here.
Yep, moving right along.
Moving right along to where I live, not far from me. During a traffic stop, Cumberland County deputies on U.S. Highway...
Judy G. Oh.
Shh. Cumberland County deputies on Highway 127 encountered a 50-year-old Donald Eugene Gilley who had an odor of alcohol coming from his vehicle. When asked if he'd been drinking, Gilley slurred that he had not. Of course he hasn't.
No.
A records check indicated Gilley's license had been revoked for prior DUI. Deputies asked Gilley to step out of the vehicle to perform field sobriety tests. Gilley staggered and appeared unsteady on his feet and said he could not complete the tests. He refused consent to a breath or blood sample to determine his level of impairment. Gilley was charged with DUI, driving on a revoked license, and violation of the implied consent law. He was placed under $6,000 bond and is due in court. When asked to sign the implied consent paperwork, he signed his name, Jack Daniels.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for him.
This guy looks happy, and oblivious. I don't know. I can't think of a good word for this. I put a link in the chat. If you guys go check out his mugshot, I mean, he really has 0 fucks left to give, which is about how many teeth are in his head.
That's funny. That is funny.
Moving right along.
Moving right along, a Florida man remains unemployed after leaving a job interview at Kohl's and stealing some shoes on his way out.
Oh, shit.
Dominic Breedlove, whose mugshot looks like an auto-generated image picked by a simple algorithm that determined it most fittingly corresponds with his name. Which, yes, he does look like a complete douche canoe. He was leaving a job interview at Kohl's when he saw some tennis shoes with no security tag. So obviously, he tried to steal them. I mean, what else was he supposed to do? Just leave?
Well,
Breedlove actually went out to his car after he noticed the vulnerable shoes so that he could grab a Kohl's bag from a previous purchase. He then grabbed 2 pairs of women's running shoes, which he intended to be gifts for his mother. He later told police, who, of course, caught him. All things considered, this was probably a good day for the Central Florida Kohl's. It's not like there was a bath salt-fueled hobo orgy going down in the linens department, or an alligator that had begun living in a flooded aisle they neglected to do anything about for the last 6 months, and 0 impromptu raves attending exclusively by high school girls and ex-convicts that were held on the roof of the night before. This is a win. As for Breedlove, the Danny Ocean of middle-tier discount retail stores, was booked into Hernando County Detention Center on a charge of retail theft. He was held on a $500 bond. Meanwhile, at least one Kohl's manager learned a valuable lesson. Everyone who walks into your store looking like that guy is going to try to steal something, and even though stereotyping is never okay, go ahead and do it here, or otherwise, you're going to be replacing a lot of stolen Superman t-shirts and skateboarding gear.
So this one, yeah, this is, we'll just say interesting. I don't remember if we did this one. Had this one for a couple weeks, but I sometimes, you see the article so many times, you're like, shit, did we do that one already? So stop me if we've heard this. Okay. Washington, a man who shot himself in the testicles was also found to be hiding marijuana in his buttocks.
Oh, shit.
Cameron Jeffrey Wilson, 27, was carrying a gun in his front pocket in April in Washington State when the firearm accidentally discharged. There is no accidental. When you're a dumbass, it happens. The Wenatchee World News reported the bullet pierced Wilson's testicles and then went into his thigh. God, that sounds painful. I'm like doubling over just thinking about it. Upon arriving at the hospital, a doctor was operating on the gunshot wound when a balloon of marijuana slipped out of Wilson's anus.
What the fuck?
I got nothing. You don't have to make jokes after that. It's all in the story. Police arrived at the hospital and searched Wilson's car, where they also found a bag of meth. The man's troubles did not then end there, though, as Wilson, who is a convicted felon, was being processed in the Chelan County Jail.
Hold on. Have a good night, Bob Jordan. All right.
As he was being processed, he was strip searched, and another balloon of marijuana came out of his anus. That must have been a treat to watch, to witness.
Yeah.
Wilson has pleaded not guilty to second-degree felon in possession of a firearm. I'm sorry, the evidence is right there. You shot yourself in the testicle, and it got lodged in your thigh. And unlawful possession of meth. Is there a lawful possession of meth, Bulldog?
Yeah. When it's in a squirrel. Yeah.
He also pleaded not guilty to possession of a controlled substance in a correctional facility. Because remember, they give you the chance to disclose wherever you've got your shit hidden, even if that's up your ass.
Yeah.
And if you say no and they take you to the other side, now you're fucked. So he is being held on $110,000 bond and is due in court sometime in June. Yeah. That's an expensive party.
Yeah. I'm gonna
share. And he got shot in the testicles.
I'm gonna share this next one.
Okay.
After I tell it though, because the mugshot has a striking resemblance to somebody we know.
Uh-oh.
Not exact, okay? But there's a resemblance of one Mitchell Rankin.
Oh, shit. I love the comments from my story. How loose is his anus that stuff falls out?
Florida man arrested after calling 911 to brag about escaping from the police. Some people just can't keep their mouths shut, including a Florida man who called 911 just to brag about getting away from the police at a traffic stop. I ran from a cop 30 minutes to an hour ago, Nicholas Jones told a dispatcher. What do we pay you guys for? I've driven past 4 cops. What do you mean? You ran from a cop? The dispatcher replied. I mean, he turned his lights on me, he got behind me, and he was walking up to my car. I did a donut around him and left. Florida police pulled Jones over for a broken taillight, but before the officer could get to him, he sped off. An hour later, Jones called 911 to make fun of the police for not catching him. The dispatcher traced his cell phone number and found Jones' name. Police later found Jones and arrested him while he was shopping. Yeah. And...
Because what do you do after? Just go shopping.
Yeah, right. So, you tell me this doesn't look like Mitchell Rankin.
Oh, God. Did you already put it? Oh, there we go. I'm going to have to look.
It looks like him!
Holy shit, that is him!
His doppelganger's getting busted for stupidity in fucking Florida. Doesn't it kind of look like Mitchell?
It does. Yeah, it very much resembles him.
Oh, Jesus. Moving right along.
Statesboro, Georgia. A child was expecting a Lego set, but got something special instead, said the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office. 3 women from Georgia found a box that appeared to be full of Lego bricks while on a trip to a consignment shop in Charleston, South Carolina.
Jesus. Hope they didn't step on them.
They bought... right? Especially without any shoes on. Fucking those hurt. They bought the box and decided to gift it to a child in Statesboro, Georgia. When the child found 3 pounds of methamphetamine, women contacted the sheriff's office. You guys got quite the deal. I mean, that was at a thrift store. It's unclear exactly how the consignment shop ended up with the drugs, but the sheriff's office believes the box may have ended up at the shop after it was mailed to a wrong address. Gee, you think? Dealers sometimes ship drugs to abandoned homes, but mail carriers delivering to abandoned places will often leave the packages with neighbors. Sometimes unclaimed packages are even auctioned off, sort of like storage wars. No charges have been filed in the case. Yeah, because they don't know who did it. Yeah, talked it. I'm done for the night. I'm done talking. I just want to know, why would this kid tell? Snitches get stitches, little boy. Maybe there was a squirrel in the neighborhood who wanted that.
Never know. You never know.
Oh. Moving right along.
Moving right along to Albuquerque, New Mexico. You'll like this one, Judy. A large amount of vomit in the backseat of an Uber vehicle in an argument over a cleanup fee. This is what court documents indicate led to a rideshare driver shooting and killing a passenger by the side of Interstate 25 on St. Patrick's Day. James Porter, a 27-year-old who worked at the Hewlett-Packard in Rio Rancho, died at the scene. The driver, Clayton Benedict, has not been charged. He declined to comment for this story. Michael Patrick, a spokesman for the district attorney's office, said the case was submitted to the DA late last week. Prosecutors are currently going over hundreds of documents and videos. Patrick said a charging decision would come sometime in the next few weeks. Gilbert Gallegos, a spokesman for the Albuquerque Police Department, and is still considered an open investigation, and police are working with the DA's office. Albuquerque PD's homicide detectives have served a search warrant on Uber, asking for Benedict's account information, including his trips for the days, pickup times, Hello. What the hell just happened? There we go.
Oh no.
Where the hell was it? Okay. And information that indicated a ride request was accepted. The warrant was executed on Tuesday. According to the search warrant affidavit, on the evening of March 17th, Benedict picked up Porter and his friend from Salt Yard Bar on Asuna near San Mateo, Nebraska. Okay. I thought this was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But anyway, Benedict, who had been driving for Uber for the last year and a half, told detectives they were traveling south on I-25 when Reyes vomited in the back seat. At this point, the other passenger and Clayton started to go back and forth about a potential cleanup fee. And the detective wrote in the affidavit, James is the male arguing, pleading with Clayton not to charge him for a cleanup fee. When Benedict said he pulled over just south of Montano exit and asked the men to get out of the car, he said he ended the ride and gave Porter a review of 1 star. Clayton... What the fuck? Clayton opens his driver's door, steps out, stating, hey man, don't slam my door. The detective wrote in the affidavit, James walks around the car and starts to yell at Clayton, flips his shoes off, throws his hat down, and hurls his sunglasses at Clayton. At the time, Clayton pulls out his handgun and tells James to stop, back up. Benedict said Porter continued to yell at him, saying, you're not going to shoot me, and began running toward traffic. He said he backed away from Porter, and when Porter walked towards the open driver's side door and said something, well, if you're going to shoot me, I am going to run you over with your own car.
Oh, well then.
Benedict said he fired an unknown amount of rounds towards Porter's center mass, and Porter fell to the ground. Shortly after that, a little before 6 p.m., police arrived. 6 casings were found scattered on the ground near the driver's side door, and a black handgun lay several feet away. Why is it got to be a black handgun? Why are they going to turn this into a racist issue? Porter was dead with 2 gunshot wounds under his left armpit, and Reyes was kneeling next to him. Reyes told detectives he didn't remember anything about getting into the car and only vague memories of the officers taking his clothes and driving him to the police station. Why did they take his clothes? Jonathan had no recollection of the incident involving James. A detective wrote in the affidavit Jonathan did not know that there had been an altercation. Jonathan was in complete shock that he was informed of the news that his friend had been killed. Following his interview, Benedict was released from police custody while detectives continued the investigation. 2.5 weeks later, in early April, Porter's estate filed a civil lawsuit against Uber and Benedict, alleging the company was negligent in hiring, retaining, and supervising of the driver. Lawsuits pending. In response to the questions about whether Benedict still works for the company, an Uber spokesman said he does not have access to the app.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
There's no argument over the charge. It's automatic.
Yeah.
If you're an Uber driver, you go on your app and you say, this passenger threw up in my car. And you get paid for the trip, plus you get $150.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Well, I'm glad I'm not able to talk anymore because it's 9.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Well, hey, we are at the end of the show. You know, we spoke a lot at the beginning of the show about expectations and, you know, hoping that everybody does understand that if you need somebody, we are here. There's always an ear. It doesn't have to be us. There's plenty of people in the veteran community that are more than willing to talk to people. Yeah. So if you're not comfortable talking to either Judy or myself, there's always somebody listening. There's always somebody available. So make sure you reach out. And that's it. I'm not going to harp too much more on that. You got anything you want to say?
Not, you know, I take care of each other. And, you know, we've said it 100,000 times, reach out. You know, there's always somebody to talk to, whether it's someone that you need to listen to you complain about your life's problems or get you to laugh or whatever it is. You know, reach out, let people know what you need.
There you go.
Love you all.
Yep. Go over to beardbqsauce.com. Use coupon code VET4LIFE. Save yourself some percentage off, 10% off your sale. Go to threatcon5clothing.com. Check out the Beard BQ Sauce shirts. Check out all the other great, fantastic stuff that's there for you to help a vet in need. Remember, all portions of sales go to help organizations or vets in need. So, you know, we're standing out in that aspect. So, you know, check it out. Okay. Use coupon code GRENADE if you want to save 10%. Well, yeah. So I'm Bulldog. That's Judy. We'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Love you.
This concludes our broadcast day.